Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we had Glenn
gasoline. Yes. Oh.
We regularly have gasoline. Glenn Rother Scotch. A sipping drink, which
he did not sip.
I don't believe
I
you
didn't
sip.
sip. I don't know about you.
I don't believe you sipped that, Mr. Magazine. It's going to be a crazy show today. It's going to be we always have really big shoes. But this is going to be really big. It's going to be a crazy show today. Just a lot going on this week. So why don't you take it away and say hello to some people?
All right. We got the lovely Lori's here, like always. How's it going? Marvelous Michael.
Jeff.
Jovial Jeff.
There you go.
Awesome Antiquarian Bookman and Awesome Art of Flipping is here as well.
And he wrote a book, which is good.
Good for him.
Sequel about how people are going to vanquish the mean dogs. Well, spoiler alert, you'll want to come in next week for that. That was going to be this week's story. But something else happened today that will be in the new rambling story of the week. And trust me, it's worth it. So Come in next week. And a couple more people have showed up.
All right. I can't think of a B word. So
well, you can.
Awesome Barbara. Awesome Barbara's in the house. Marvelous Mr. Hot Wheels. Fabulous Fred and Mike the dogs. Dominating on Whatnot, Don the Enforcer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say hi to everyone. And can I say Nubian? I don't know what I want to say. Nubian came to mind. Nova Crow's Nest as well. How's it going?
Click on that.
What about, we got to go back a little bit here. Oh, we already saw that. Yeah, that shot's still kicking in. Sorry, my bad.
Yep. And did see Don the Enforcer. And actually, I wanted to give you a shout out here. Do check him out. Throw in your link, the name you sell on over on Whatnot. It was interesting. It was really kind of fun. And in fact, I called Mr. Magazine. I was at my day job. I was sitting at my table for a few minutes in between stops and doing a little bit of work. And I got the notification that Don was on, and I watched it. It was interesting to see a whole different way of doing things than the way that I do things. And I definitely can see the profit potential in how you do things, Don. And it was really interesting to see. And good kind of to watch. So drop there a link what you sell on. You sell a lot of Hot Wheels over there. And if anybody's interested in Hot Wheels, definitely check it on out.
Paperboy did tell me if I want to see a real Whatnot seller make real money to watch you. So I will choose him over other Whatnot sellers. And I'm going to retract my N-word for Nova's Crows. I'm going to say nice Nova Crow's Nest is in the house because nice Nanette is in the house as well.
There you go.
And the delightful Dawn is here nice and early. We appreciate that.
No, she don't want to be delightful.
All right, disturbing Dawn. Now I'm going to say negative words about people, and then they're going to get all bitter.
But she says it about herself. It's okay.
Fine. And lovely Linda's in the house. Good evening as well.
All right. How about
Unlocal Joe's in the house? They're always fun. Once you do I think everyone should do a shot ahead of time. When you get to like 10 seconds before we turn on, just do a shot like us, and we'll all be on the same page.
That is true.
Good idea.
That's a very good idea.
Oh,
very good idea.
Juicy John, here we go. How's it going?
Oh, it's funny. Oh, we have the best people. Yeah, I told him to drop a link. I'm trying to help the guy. Jeez, you got to learn how to do shameless plugs.
I did drop a link in Paperboy's bathroom before the show started.
Okay, all right.
In case anyone was wondering.
Way too much.
Oh, we're not talking about that?
How are sales? We are in the middle of Christmas season. How are sales, Mr. Magazine?
Well, eBay's putrid, which, I really wasn't banking on eBay to pay my bills this month. But Amazon, I'm like, wow, it's a good day. Like my manager and myself were printing orders. Wow, it's pretty good. Then I make the mistake of checking on my sales last year, and we're like almost half.
Oh, wow.
We're like 40 to 50% off of our numbers last year. Now, it could be skewed because, again, I'm probably repeating myself. We did sell a lot of those blaster boxes and mega boxes and cello packs. So
you were making very little profit.
Which we weren't making a lot of. But, again, it was grossing a lot more money, so it's really hard to tell until the accountant crunches the numbers. But regardless, we're still down 40, 50%. So
if those are 30%, you're still down 10 to 15%.
Actually, I checked for the year. Even Amazon, we're down a steady 20% overall.
Oh, okay.
So for the whole year, pretty much. So, I mean, I guess it's what to expect since it's not COVID, if that makes sense. I don't know. But, again, we bought a lot of stuff. We put a lot of better items on, and I think our dollar amounts are higher per item, but we're selling less cheaper items that build up to that bigger number that we're not getting. All right.
Let's see everybody else's sales are doing in here.
Let's see. Who doesn't like the word juicy? Let's be honest. Oh, goodness.
Oh, you don't have to drop a link. You just see his name. There you are. There you are. Flying Disc Contractor. Thank you. Yep. Do check him out if you're into Hot Wheels.
Linda's got good sales.
Good sales.
For you.
Good to hear, Linda.
That, yeah.
Underwhelming.
Yep.
You know something?
I agree.
I'm going to steal that when I give my sales thing.
The problem is I would probably be doing okay with these sales the way they are down, but the buying is just ridiculous. And
we haven't got to that part yet.
Sorry.
Jeez Louise. You're like a shot out of a cannon tonight. John, I'm sure that Don the Enforcer will help you on that.
The Flying Disc Contractor.
He will definitely help you on that. But no, it was fun. It was fun checking him out for a while. Oh,
there you go.
Wow, look at that, Don. Look at that.
Well, I am very jealous of those numbers.
55% for the month. Holy
I'd be driving a Lamborghini if my numbers were like that.
We call it a Lambo.
Oh, sorry.
Even better in my antique boot. Wow. Okay, so the brick and mortar. And I've actually heard that from a couple of different people that brick and mortar sales seem to be. How are your brick and mortar sales?
Close your eyes. What do you see?
I see nothing.
Well, that's pretty close to what it is. I got a call from the local TV station because I advertised last year with them.
Right.
She was, I'm thinking, you want to do this again this year? It's such a great time last year. We filmed video of the store, put a commercial off. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I go, our sales are
putrid,
non-existent.
Funny you told her putrid.
You know, it's not cheap to advertise. You're talking $1,000 to $5,000, and I was hoping to advertise and do other things online, advertise for the adult site and stuff like that. But yeah, I just can't do it this year. You know, I'm buying too much inventory
down this year. So sales are all it stinks.
Yeah,
sales are slow. Yep.
It's like driving a Hyundai backwards. You know what I'm saying, John?
Or a Subaru loaded down with disc, with compact disc from Flophouse.
Yeah.
Changed from free shipping to charging, and now we're invisible. Oh, wow. Wow, okay.
Wow, that's a massive number. Can't argue with that number. Holy cow.
So actually, the interesting thing is sales seem to be all over the place. Some people are doing better. Some people are not doing so well. Stores closed.
Yeah.
And then that's having the same sales with the closed store. That's probably not a real good thing.
Oh, your whatnot, probably the same thing there. I'm just kidding.
Wow. $900 in sales this week. You're doing better than me this week, I think. You're darn close. Wow. For Hot Wheels, I may be interested. Oh, okay. There you go. There you go.
Nice new to you provisions in the house. How's it going? I'm good. I don't know about the person next to me, but hey, whatever.
And I will give you a shout out in a little while, Ben. That's Ben, new to you provisions. I will give him a shout out in a little while. Whatnot is did over $1,000 today. Nice.
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah, very good.
Very good on that.
Mm-hmm.
And for large sales.
Didn't you used to say something about Frisco, hello Frisco or something?
I don't know what I said.
I think you were. What was it? Remind me. Refresh my memory.
I don't know. Rip Taylor's long gone. This is his time in the algorithm. Yep. I would say that my sales are. Mr. Magazine and I were talking for a couple minutes before the show, and it was excruciating. I would say I think that sales are okay, but they're not okay for this time of year.
No, right.
I think that's what it comes down to. Right. If I were having these sales that I'm having now in July, I'd be saying, oh, I'm having a decent July. It's not gangbusters, but it's not bad. But to have it in the middle of Christmas season, I think that's where the disconnect comes in. These are not Christmas numbers.
For me, it's more like October, November, because that's when I'm doing my heavy buying. I'm buying toys, I'm building up inventory, spending tons of money. And then I got it all paid for by the time December rolls around, and I'm making a killing selling it. Now the sales are down, and I'm doing all my buying now. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's a little tough. Although I did sell.
Delightful Dave's in the house. How's it going?
Oh, very good. I did sell one item on Viv's Dash Fuse. Today I did sell one item on Biblio.
Let me guess, 3 on Etsy.
7 on Etsy.
Holy, quit eBay and just go with Etsy. Are you crazy?
I tell you, Etsy is like, I don't know. There's something to be said about that. Oh, 50%, Ben. Nice.
Yeah, I'm jealous of some of you guys out there.
You do really, really well. $500. Oh, we would love to have that kind of offer. We wouldn't even call that insulting. We'd call that typical. Yeah. That'd be typical offer of the week. Yeah. 7,000 December, January, 7,000 in sales. Yeah. No, you're running about the same numbers I am, John. Yep. In
Cool,
general,
cool. Kelly's in the house.
sales are okay. Should be must higher. My sale volume up, with the dollar amount is the same. People are buying cheaper items in my shop this year. Yeah, I'm kind of going the other way. They're buying more expensive items for me.
Yeah.
But that's also because I've been listing more expensive items.
Right.
And I think that the newer items are getting a lot more view in the algorithm because they're newer listed.
Same for me. And I think the cheaper stuff is what we're getting the low offers on that we're not taking because we're selling the better stuff. And hence less sales, but better numbers per item.
A couple of other numbers, because being a numbers guy, I find this stuff fascinating. So remember how I said that last week I had now I run my numbers for myself from Sunday to Sunday, and we do the show on Wednesday, so the numbers are a little bit off for that. But 3 straight weeks I had sold 54 items on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
I broke that streak last week. Sales went up. I sold 55 items last week. Yeah. So I'm getting that little Christmas bump there. I went from 54 items up to 55.
Oh.
That's how I roll. And then I had 53 items showed up on my eBay report because I count them as sold when they're sold.
Mm-hmm.
The eBay report counts them as sold when they're paid for. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there.
Yeah.
So it showed 53 items when I ran my report. 29 out of the 53 were sold via promoted listings.
Wow.
So that's what,
about
55%, something like that, were sold via promoted listings. Whereas last week, I think we had 33% sold via promoted.
Wow.
So that's kind of interesting as well. And then the final thing, I had 135 offers. Now last week, where I can make offers to buyers,
Right.
had 135 offers to buyers available to me. Last week I had 155. So the offers to buyers went down for me.
Right.
85 of them were on newer, which means 59% were new, 41% were older. eBay's algorithm this last week seems to be showing more older items to people. So it's kind of interesting to sit there and run those numbers. I find that fascinating, and I want to definitely continue to monitor that on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. How about any excuse of the week? Obviously, it was the NCAA football championship weekend. People were watching those games. It's obviously why nobody was buying.
Of course.
Did you notice the Ohio State got into the playoffs?
Yeah, good for them.
And if they can beat Georgia and somebody else, then they're champions. That's not much to ask, right?
No.
Not much to ask a team on a 15-game to beat a team with a 15-game winning streak and number one in the nation.
Yeah, Georgia just spent $10 million on a complex for free food and massages for their players.
Yeah, no, it's just in the bag. How about any buys? Anybody out there buying?
I'm killing toys. I don't know what it is. I just picked up 3 buys, 1,500 new.
Whoa, Dan Frisco has good offers.
Oh, nice.
I'm jealous of that
I'm
more
jealous
than anything else.
Yeah. But 1,500 action figures, all boxed from 3 different deals. I got another one in the works for a couple hundred figures. So we're definitely have to buy these toys. It's Christmas season. If I don't buy them now, I should never buy them. And it's all good stuff. So hopefully we'll sell them on Amazon within the next couple of weeks.
Mr. Magazine stopped by today, and he said,
yeah, I know what I said. He ran out of room in his house, so he started putting boxes outside his front porch, 12 boxes now, because there's no room in his house. Shocking.
So the gentleman from New York City emailed me today that the last of the boxes of magazines that he is sending them to me. We don't even have a price yet.
Right.
He's sending them to me. He has sent the last of 29 boxes to me. So he mailed 29 boxes of magazines to me. And once I get the last one, we're going to work out a price as to what I'm going to pay him for.
Oh, nice.
So Mr. Magazine was nice enough to help me carry in 6 boxes that were sitting on a porch. I didn't even know we were sitting in a box.
It was more than 6.
That was 6.
Really?
Yeah.
You should just get a little shed out there, and then they can just put everything in the shed.
And just leave it
there.
You can say hi to Paul, or what are you doing?
I'm waiting because his new name is Powerful Card Selling Paul. Is in the house. How's it going?
And then I did go to a house call with magazines. Turns out they only had 6 boxes of magazines. I asked the lady, what do you want on them?
6.
And she goes, $15 a box.
Nice.
And, they were Wired magazines. They were Vogue and things like that. And I said, yeah, I can pay that, Mom. Then she goes, well, I've got a lot of books. Do you want to see the books, or do you want to do that later? They're at another house. I go, why don't we do it after the first of the year? Let me try to get some stuff listed in the meantime. So those were my buys for the week. There was actually, it looked like a pretty good estate sale. I showed it to Mr. Magazine. In fact, it had like Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that.
Nice,
Didn't show any magazines or toys or books or any books, or anything like that, just toys. I was going to go to it Saturday, and then I looked, and it was just kind of a little further away than I wanted to drive. And I said, I really don't need anything to drive on that. So didn't end up going.
You only can see that every day. Now, were the wires early wires or later wires?
I know that the person that gave me the lead had sold issue number 1, but he may not have sold other ones. So I think they're fairly early.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're fairly early.
If you don't want them, I'll take them.
Nice. Ramp up in 2023, so I'm not too disappointed. Okay. Yep. Up a little more if I didn't have non-payers. Yeah, that would definitely help.
For sure.
3 decent postcard last week. Not much more than that. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Powerful card selling, Paul. I like it. It rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
Right.
I'm so jealous of Don. I'd have so much money in my account right now instead of borrowing money.
Sales right now, even though I like Freddie saying that these people aren't giving me any breaks. Hey, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
that is a very good problem to have. Yeah, I know, but again, it was pictured, and I know that I would have been going on the second day of the sale, so that would have been picked. But it was the right era that there would have been stuff that I probably could have bought. They had no pictures of anything paper, and it was a little further drive than I wanted to make because, again, I don't need anything, and I'm actually trying to get stuff sold. But if people just keep sending me stuff, I can't do much about it. Being very selective.
Yeah, me too. I had 7 buys out of 17, so being very selective.
That seems to be nobody's buying right now. Okay, that's good.
That's probably why everyone's coming to me.
42 boxes of postcards.
Popular Popeyes in the house. How's it going?
Made a quarter of it back last night on Whatnot.
Can't argue with that.
Now, if I told Mr. Magazine...
Oh, that's the same as you. Oh, no, you made a quarter on Whatnot. 25 cents. I couldn't help myself. Go ahead. What were you going to tell me?
I was going to say, oh, you paid $1 for all those postcards? Yeah, I was kind of going the same place. Don't worry. Don't worry. Wow.
I couldn't help myself.
Okay, I did read that they were going to do that. They were going to allow you. They were going to do more than the 45-day or 90-day sales.
So we don't need TerraPeak anymore, or what?
Who knows what they're doing. Glitch of the week. Invite only auction. Oh wow, impressive. That's odd. And I'm sure mine's in the mail. So eBay changed something in Seller Hub. Have you noticed this, Mr. Magazine?
No, I wouldn't notice it until you tell me about it.
Do you want to take a tour of Seller Hub?
Do you want me to take a tour?
Every single time I go into Seller Hub, it asks me if I want to take a tour. There's no way to X out. I have to click 3 or 4 different times, and then it'll disappear off my screen, and I can actually use stuff in Seller Hub. It's been going on for about 4 days. I have taken about 200 tours of Seller Hub. Thank you, eBay. I know Seller Hub at this point. Oh my goodness gracious. If I give offers out to buyers, then I click back to Seller Hub. Would you like to take a tour? And there's no option to not take a tour. Time after time. Oh, I'm taking lots and lots of tours. Trust me on that. And then listing has been glitched totally. Are any of your employees complaining about glitches in listing?
Not on eBay. I think the website.
Okay, yeah. eBay has been having all kinds of problems listing. Multiple times it's not you, it's us when you go to click sell similar. So then if you're selling the same type thing, you have to go and do a search on your items newly listed, find one of the same kind, click on it because you don't want to refill in all the item specifics again. Sure. So you got to do that. Then I had it where I was listing a newspaper and I changed it into the newspaper category. Yeah. And the item specifics were name of magazine, date of magazine. I'm going, really? So then I had to go and change it out of newspapers into magazines, back into newspapers for the right item specifics to come up. Oh, it's been glitchy over there considerably. And then one of our subscribers reached out to me. They got an email yesterday from eBay. They were one of the people that had the final value fee problems. Mm-hmm. They're still having the problems, and eBay's finally saying, oh, yeah, we're a little delayed in it. And he's still having final value fees from weeks ago taken out of his account. So I checked mine. I've not had that problem. But
was saying 2 years, but then new to you is saying, are you sure about that? So We need a little.
Well, it was the other gentleman.
Somewhere you got to get it.
Well, the other person said it was a slow rollout, so maybe
Okay.
some people have it, and some people don't have it so far.
But again, how good is that? Hypothetically speaking, let's say you had a Hulk number 1 9.8, which is probably worth millions of dollars, and the last one sold on eBay was almost 2 years ago.
It depends on what it is. Yeah, obviously it depends upon what you're selling.
Because most people are going by most recent comps of things, and not 2 years ago it was COVID too. So a Jordan rookie could have been 800,000, where now it's 100,000. So you got to watch yourself on some of the higher end stuff, I think.
Oh, this is going to take about an hour here. Insulting offer of the week. Now,
did I send many to you? I was trying to
the
counter
glitch too, but only on the reports tab. Okay, I get it all over the place. Yeah,
I was trying to counter, and after a couple of days, I just got fed up with that crap, and I still did some of it, but if it was too far off, I don't have time for it. Just too busy to deal with nonsense.
So I did counter nearly every single offer.
Oh, good.
And I made one sale.
Wow, so not good. You made an extra $3, but the time involved countering them all, you probably lost $25.
So Mr. Magazine got a $75 offer on 1993 Upper Deck SP Baseball, which includes Derek Jeter.
Yep. Best rookie, yeah. Good set.
Backed out, back in, and offer worked. Yeah, so that's annoying. Yeah. So you were asking $460 on it.
And the Jeter loan's like $350 to $400.
Oh, the gentleman offered you $75, and Mr. Magazine emailed me and said, use the man hammer. And I said, Mr. Magazine, you told us to make counter offers to people. Now you can't go. So right. Mr. Magazine made the counter offer, and the gentleman came back with a $100 offer. That's banhammer.
Yeah.
He got the banhammer.
It's just one of those top 10 sets to buy, and they never even come remotely. I mean, you never even find them under $350 unless the Jeter's hammered. Say 300 is the lowest. If you run comps, I can't imagine there's sets under $300. 250 raw with a crappy Jeter, maybe. I don't know. It's crazy.
Then I got a gentleman, and it was an obscure type magazine. It was some kind of a Polish directory from. It was something that not a lot of people are going to want. I was asking 24 on it. Gentleman offered me 10. I countered at 16. I said, it's got free shipping. I could do 16. He countered at 10. That gets the banhammer.
Yeah.
That's definitely, that's banhammer worthy.
I tried a lot. Some may have worked, but for the most part, it was a failure for me.
Okay. So Kelly did get that as well. New backlog of charges rolled through. Yeah. The one gentleman was still getting them today after he got that email. So it isn't so volatile. Not slinging Jordan rookies. There you go. Offer of $15 on a cookie jar listed for $69. I declined. Now, Linda, you're not playing the game. You're supposed to counter. I'm sure a $62 offer with an explanation would have gotten it.
Exactly.
New resin offered $30. Oh, 1/6. Ouch. Spending time teaching buyers how to use the cart feature to get coupons. Okay. Oh. Cool. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how to use the cart. Maybe I'll have to come buy stuff from him. $5, which likely won't be light enough for first class. Yep. Then Dan said something there.
Oops.
Yep. 300 offers, received 2 sales. Receiving offers have been good, asking just 5-10%. See, and those are almost gimmies. Those are cool. Slam dunks. $330 offer and a $67 counter at 50 came back with 31. Yep, decline. Yep, that's banhammer.
Exactly.
Gentleman made me a $5 offer on a Look magazine 7 hours after I put it up for auction. And he's in California.
And what was your asking price?
28, yeah.
So he thinks after 7 hours you put up for 20, you're going to take $5
with free shipping.
Yeah,
and he's in California, so I would lose money on that one there.
A lot of money.
Another gentleman, Los Angeles magazine, I had listed for $32 at auction with free shipping. Guy offers 12. I point out it's been listed 19 hours, and he's offering 36% of listing price. It has free shipping. It's not enticing. It's really not enticing because here's the whole thing. It's at auction.
Right.
Just put it up.
We're veteran sellers too. We've been through this for 20 years, plus 20 plus years. We're not going to put some up for 30, 50, or 100 and take 2 minutes later, take some 10% of what we're asking. It's just insane to me.
Well, and Mr. Magazine got a guy offering a whole bunch of Mattingly cards that Mr. Magazine wanted $25 each. The guy across the board was asking $5. Mr. Magazine just banhammered him instantly.
Yeah, I just, I'm going to counter back at 20, and then he's going to do 6. If it was 1, I would have, but not 25 of them. It was like a ridiculous amount of cards. Never. I mean, who would ever do that on eBay that had those exact cards or similar cards? They're never going to do that ever.
Now we're going to head on into customer issues, and this is going to be a book as well. It's a crazy time right now out there. Mr. Magazine got heckled, and not just by me. He got heckled that he does not include nearly enough photographs for the person to want to buy his items, and they're out of focus as well.
Was it an old listing? I don't remember.
Probably,
Yeah.
but the gentleman basically wanted you to do
but they weren't out of focus. I looked at them. They were those old, what were those old oversized cheesecake ones?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What was it?
I don't remember the title, yeah. And Mr. Magazine got a person reaching out. And I feel sorry for them. They lost everything in a fire. They didn't have renter's insurance. Their husband has PTSD, but they want to know the lowest price on a sports card. And I don't know if he answered them or not, or if he just kind of just ignored the thing there. You never know what stories.
No, what I do is I try to give them an offer back that I think is fair. 9 out of 10 times they've reached their maximum offers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's what I learned from doing it. So, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it because then I go, how can I buy it? Well, I guess I could end it, relist it.
Or you could pay full retail and I could refund back.
Exactly. Yep. Right.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's Christmas time. Be nice. I have not gotten that yet.
No,
I have not gotten. They don't even explain. They just insult me.
Right. Exactly.
They don't even explain.
Exactly.
Frustrating for us sellers. I don't blame the buyers unless they start screwing around. Take the whole never know until you ask approach. Right. But again, when you offer me 10 and I counter at 16, and then you offer me 10 again, that's when you get into screwing around. Because obviously, if I countered you, I'm not going to take 10 on it. I'm not that desperate. I don't counter and I don't block. Yeah, see, you're a better man than me, Popeyes.
Sounds like what I do with my wife.
Anywho, Mr. Magazine got somebody emailing. You told me you would retract my bid. I see you didn't. I won't buy anything from you ever.
Good. That is our goal. I don't want to deal with you.
Well, I made it very easy for the gentleman. I used the band hammer on him. And again, he contacted Mr. Magazine, forwarded it to me after the auction was over. We said buyer canceled. No problem whatsoever.
I said we take care of it, but like they're very anxious.
Mr. Magazine had we'll save that. We'll save that one over there.
Well, that sounds juicy. Like Juicy John.
Then I got a person they emailed me on 8 different magazines from the 1950s. They wanted me to see if an ad for DeSoto was in any of the 8. I said, I'm not set up to do that. But I'll look going forward. That's not a problem. I can look for going forward. They emailed me back. What does that mean? It kind of defeats the purpose of being able to ask the seller questions about a listed item. Don't wonder why you don't sell things when you can't answer some simple questions. Sometimes people rub me the wrong way.
Yes.
At that point,
You're trying to be a nice guy. Trying to be a nice guy.
At that point, I emailed him back and I said, you're asking me to find 8 different items in inventory. You're asking me to go through every page of those 8 different items to see if a ad for a car is in there. You're then asking me to tell you which ones they are. You will then ask me, may I see pictures? I will then dig them out, scan pictures, send them to you. There is no guarantee the ads are in there. And if they are in there, there's no guarantee that you will buy them from me because you may buy them from somebody else, or you may say, oh, thank you. And you want me to invest half an hour of time into something that you may or may not even purchase from me.
Right.
If it were easy, I would do it.
Yeah.
If you asked for one on something I just listed, yes, I'll take a look through it. I'm not going to go dig 8 items out of inventory.
I certainly want to scan and send it over because then they wouldn't even want it. You're giving them the information.
Right. And you know that's what he would want.
Right.
I said, obviously it's not a simple process or I would do it on that over there. Oh, wow. That wasn't me, I hope. I mean, I'm a troll, but hopefully I didn't get banned.
The appearance of one?
Wow.
You said you're a troll. Jeez. Yes, agree by humbug. That's how I am right now.
So Mr. Magazine got an email from somebody over on Amazon. You stated that you have one of these at $7.79, and you clearly have more than one. This is misleading and not the truth. I needed 2 of these, not to pay $5 more for a second one from the same seller. So essentially what happened is Mr. Magazine on Amazon had 2 copies of a magazine. Now, either they were listed at different times, they were in different conditions, They could have been under different AISNs because that happens
Right.
on Amazon.
Sure.
But one was priced at $7.79, and maybe you would use the repricer to get to be the lowest, and then you
Right.
listed one later at a higher price. But you had two different copies of it, and they wanted to pay $7.79 each, and so they're yelling at you because you want $8 on one and $12 on the other. That about sums it all up.
Yeah.
That about some. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. Questions about certain people in your books and yearbooks and certain recipes. I will check the yearbook. That one I will check because yearbooks 80 to 90% of the time do result in a sale. So those I will check, especially because generally speaking in a yearbook, A, I know right where they are because they're all in the same spot. And B, they're
not
in
competition either. Very little competition.
And they're also in alphabetical order. Most of the time the students are. So it's easy enough to find that.
Right.
I don't have to page through, 48 pages of a magazine. I can just, as long as I know my alphabet,
Right.
I'm fine. We do our part. Our gold mine. I did a test of a few magazines where I took out the ads, scanned them, and a batch of 100 ads, sold dozens for 10 plus shipping. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Well, if you need the raw material.
Well, yeah, if you need more ads, I'd be happy to loan them out like cards, and you can sell them, and we'll split them.
There you go.
You gotta have thousands of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
True.
Into the interesting other things part. Now, I don't mean to laugh at other shows. I don't even laugh at comedy shows on YouTube. I'm a tough crowd. But I know you watch a lot of Instagram from Pure Hustle Podcast.
I do.
And I do watch them. They have a show on Wednesdays. I watch that all the time. I will admit, I did laugh out loud at their show this past week.
Was it a penny they bought for a penny and it's worth $1 million?
It was not.
Okay.
They paid half a cent.
Hey, penny.
Now, Orlando was mentioning that he's not buying inventory right now.
Okay.
He's stockpiling his money. He's not buying inventory,
right.
which is fine. Yeah. A lot of people seem to be doing that
because I wish I had the guts to do that.
Well, he says he really doesn't need to buy inventory, which I think we're all in that same boat. And again, I don't mean to laugh. I love their show. I talk to him on Instagram all the time. He has about 300 unlisted items.
I'm really jealous of that. I'm really jealous. Wow. He's got a lot of, what's the word? A lot of
listed items?
Well,
it was just funny to me because I'm going 300. I think I'm not buying, and I picked up more than 300 items today on my porch.
I was going to say, in the last few days, I picked up 1,000 toys.
It's a whole different world. So God bless them. Another thing, a Paris auction house had a painting that they estimated it was a Girasino painting. They estimated $6,000. It sold at auction for $600,000.
Wow.
Goes
to show
some Paris auction house.
Oh, okay.
Goes to see that you can't always trust the experts. And I do like to bring those stories to us because, again, the experts are the experts, but they're not always right. They don't always know everything. And then there was another thing I read, which made me laugh really, really hard. It was a Polish painting, and the country of Poland believes that the item might have been stolen. It's a Mazurski painting, something like that. They think it's worth $4 million.
John Matuzek painting?
Exactly.
But that's pretty.
They think it's a $4 million painting.
Wow. And
so the Polish government thinks that it was stolen at some point and that it's the property of Poland, and they're trying to seize the painting. Okay. And it's at an auction house, and they want to seize it because you can't pass title to stolen goods. Yeah. They showed up to seize it. They didn't have the right packing materials. So the auction house is like, we're not giving you this over here. You don't have any packing materials to take it. So the Polish authorities made a custom-made box for it, came back, they had the measurements wrong, and the auction house goes, it won't fit in there. We're not letting you take it.
Bush League. Jeez.
So they really need to reach out to eBayers who'll be able to help them with the proper packing materials. That just made me laugh really, really hard on that one over there.
All right, John, I'm not going to get into it, but did I tell the story about the 2 broken things in my basement yet? We'll save them. I didn't do that last week or the week before, did I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, all right, so we'll save it to the next rambling story that Papergoy is not doing. 2 broken things in my basement. Let's move on.
A couple of other things. Oh, so I had fun.
I wouldn't panic.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be near retirement.
That is true.
I got 1 million items.
Yeah, given I have 50,000 unlisted, I'd be like, oh, yeah, another week and I'm done.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh because it's such a difference in perspective when you're doing the say hi to local Ron.
Local Ron's in the house. What's up, buddy? How's it going?
He stopped by and said hi to you the other day.
He did stop by. Yeah. I had some record mailers he needed. I gave him those to help him out a little bit. And then,
that's always.
We won't get into what I needed some right after that because of the issue I had. Issue 1 of 7.
Yeah, it's always a problem in Antiquarian, and they're not supposed to go media mail either if they have ads, which most of them have ads. I think technically it says they're not allowed to go media, but I believe it just has to do with the ads.
Cool card for kids in the house. How's it going?
He probably did.
Yeah. It's like a virus.
So I had an item that I shipped out using eBay Standard International to Mexico.
Okay.
A gentleman reached out to me. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The tracking shows it's reached Mexico and so on. Very nice man. We were discussing it. He's like, I really want this. I hate to have it get lost. I go, well, I'd hate to get it lost too. So I said, what you need to do is you need to put in a claim because it hasn't arrived to you. And the tracking definitely shows it hasn't. So he put in a claim. I put in the tracking, and eBay found in his favor because he didn't receive the item.
Right.
So I reached out via Facebook over to eBay and said, what do I do? How do I get my money back? Oh, you can't get your money back. I said, really? So I did a search, and sure enough, there is insurance up to $100. This was like a $25 item plus shipping. I said, right here, in your own thing, it says that I can get my money back because the item never arrived. It reached domestic and so on. Now, one odd thing was when I put the new shipping in, when I put the item, the shipping in to answer the case, the tracking said waiting for item. Now, I said, what kind of bait and switch is that? Now, luckily, the gentleman at eBay was able to find the original tracking on it and send it to me, and I was able to find the original tracking. And he said, oh, you need to reach out to DHL, and they have to declare the item lost. And if they declare it lost, then I can get the money back through the program. If they declare it delivered, then I have to reach out to the gentleman to get my money back, which he'll give me the money back. It's not a problem. Right. I said, okay, how do I do that? Oh, ask him for it through PayPal. I said, I'm not allowed to send him my email address. Yeah. How do I ask it through PayPal? Oh, put the item up, have him buy it. I said, okay. Do I get a glitch in my metrics? Because then I have an item up that isn't shipped out. We're not going to talk about hypothetical issues. We will. I'm like, talk about flying by the seat of your pants. So what I did today is I reached out to DHL and said, this has showed no movement in almost a month. Can we declare it lost so I can get my money back? So we'll see one way or the other. It'll shake something or other loose. Right. But it just sucks having to jump through all these hoops. But I love that. We're not going to discuss hypotheticals. We could why don't you give me some good advice?
Exactly. Crazy.
That is really crazy. I'm thinking to myself, how about you just stay behind the program and give me a courtesy refund? Yeah, obviously, you see that I shipped it out. You see it's not my fault.
They make everything so difficult.
Yeah, the regional box. I know you're definitely going to miss regional boxes.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple of other things here. Stop by Whatnot on Saturday at 1:00. We have the book bazaar. Stop by January 14th. Ben New to You Provisions invited me to do the Ephemera at 6 p.m. on Saturday the 14th. So it's going to be a long night for Papergoy.
I know who I'm calling at 6 p.m. Saturday.
Exactly. And come up this Tuesday over on Whatnot, we have trade cards, 63 lots.
Wow.
Yeah, I was able to break into 63 lots. Nice trade cards heading over there. Mr. Magazine opened the vault.
I did. I was in tears giving them away, literally.
That's because you were cutting onions. And
as far as you know,
he brought them on by, and they're all up there now. So do check out the trade cards over on Whatnot. Package and loss refund, you can give your email address through eBay messages. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, the gentleman had told me to do it, and then he changed his tune. So we'll wait for it to show up or whatever.
All right.
Oh, thank you, New to You. And I will get that posted at some point there for that sale. All right, we are going to head into today's main topic, preparing for disaster. And Mr. Magazine wrote a book over here that he wants to read. So Mr. Magazine.
Yes.
You have had a difficult week.
Very difficult.
Why don't you enlighten us?
So leading up to my meltdown today around 4:45, I had 6 issues leading up to the 7th issue, which made my meltdown. Number 1.
Terrible sales on Whatnot.
No.
Lost
no,
item
no.
in Mexico.
I do good on Whatnot.
Lost item in Mexico.
No.
Getting heckled by somebody who needs ads found.
No.
Okay.
Those are small potatoes.
Wow.
Number 1.
They're big to me.
That's true. Some of these are small, some of these were big, but they're just frustrating because they all happened within 5-6 days, whatever. We ordered $400 in magazine record mailers.
Mm-hmm.
We got a box labeled 1 of 1 and had 100 in there. I put the dispute in through eBay, contact the seller. He says, here's tracking, they were all delivered. So now I got to fight with eBay and the seller to get.
Now, that being said, the seller does have 1.5 million positives, so he will stand behind it.
Hopefully we get those,
And he did reach out to you afterwards.
Right. So, that's the starting. It's just because you got to do more work.
Right.
And go through all the,
jump through a lot of hoops, yeah.
The next one's a fun one. I think this was Friday. $350 mail fraud through eBay. Should I explain it real quickly?
Yeah. It was actually something we were going to talk about earlier.
We talked about the Marcus Allen statue that was supposedly damaged for $350. And then we had to send it through eBay's insurance company, PIP. And the gentleman got mad, gave me a negative. Finally, they were processing their claim, not giving me the money. They said, click the link. The link was a broken link. We contacted eBay. They have nothing to do with it. We got to go through an insurance company. The guy's sending it back. We opened the box. And guess what?
What?
It was not Marcus Allen broken. It was a Christmas vase with candy in it.
Now, can I ask a question, Mr. Magazine?
Absolutely.
Is there any possibility this man is a craftsman, really, really good, and he took the pieces of Marcus Allen and rebuilt it into a Christmas vase?
No, the vase was green, and the chocolate said Goodyear, Hershey's, Kit Kat, those little miniature ones.
At least you got candy.
I did. And it was the label for the return of market. It wasn't like a second box, So we contacted eBay because a couple years ago when we had mail fraud, they said, all you got to do is file a police report, show them the proof, the claim report number, and they refunded the buyer, but also they didn't take the money out of my account. Well, the rules have changed. They don't use that, solution anymore. They have nothing to do with it. The gentleman gave me the negative, kept the money. I'm out $350 and kept the item. I'm out $350 and the item.
But you have a nice vase you can give for Christmas.
And the best thing is, if I don't give him the money back in a couple days, I get a strike on my account. So they're forcing me to refund him, and then hopefully the insurance company will give me the money back.
Now, did you file a police report?
I did not. It just doesn't matter unless the insurance company says I need to, because if they ask for pictures, all I have is what he sent me, and I don't know how good that really is. It's hard to even tell what's broken on it. So that's a fun one that most likely I'll be out the money. Next one. I sold a $2,000 Corgi Batman overseas.
Nice. I'm jealous.
Overseas. And
as we kids say, I'm jelly.
I think because of the taxes on it, the import taxes, I think they hold on to it at the central station or whatever, and then you have to go there, pay for it, and you get it. Well, I don't think he wanted to do this, or he couldn't do it. So it was coming back to me a couple weeks ago. Now he claims tracking shows it's lost. He doesn't know where it is. So it's something that I don't know how this is going to play out, but everything with eBay I lose out on. If it doesn't get to the customer, I'm out the money. So that could be a potential $2,000 in a hole.
Maybe DHL will deliver it to my buyer in Mexico.
That's a good rounding error. Next up, we had a gentleman that did not want to buy an Amazon adult magazine, so he wanted to buy them, offline
through the website.
And through the website and pay with PayPal. $900. I gave him a deal. Well, some items had sold, a couple sold, which he's still watching on Amazon for whatever reason. A few he didn't want. So it was just a confusing order. It took a couple days. We're doing, we got hundreds of orders, 300-400 orders a day.
Yep.
We're short staffed. So it's one of those things I put on the back burner. He's overseas. A day or two isn't going to make getting there in 2-3 weeks.
Especially during Christmas season.
So he thinks he's being ignored. He thinks I'm selling this stuff on Amazon for more money. So now he's putting in a PayPal dispute, which I don't have the money. It's my sister's account because they banned me from the adult stuff. So now I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to take the money out of her account, which isn't there. And just another headache that you got to deal with. Let's see. What does it say?
It's your writing.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, it's getting late. And what I don't like during the holiday season, which happens usually once every year or so, is employees coming up to me and wanting raises during the holiday season.
I'm sorry. I'd like to make $2 an hour.
Well, we give raises out. We give bonuses out after Christmas. Everyone gets one, depending on how long you've been there and so forth, how many hours you're working and so forth. And then you get a raise in January. So it just gets under my skin that, this person's working hard, but don't hit me up right now. Just
and everybody's getting a raise because minimum wage is going up
right,
again in 3 weeks.
Yeah, regardless, you're going to get something. Yeah, exactly. Lastly, we've had a recurring issue with a homeless man in the laundromat for years and years. He goes in there, he drinks alcohol.
Look, I'm not homeless.
He sleeps.
I just look homeless.
He does drugs. He peed in front of the building, and all we can do is call the police.
And you said one day he was sleeping on 3 washers.
Yeah, like just lounging out, and and he's violent. We've confronted him before. He hit my hand and knocked my phone out. He chased my sister around. He's very mean and violent. And every time we call the police, they kick him out. He walks away, and we keep saying this keeps happening over and over. And what can we do? He goes, well, he's a homeless man. Just keep calling us. I go, yeah, there's many homeless men that come in here, people, and they leave willingly and are nice. I don't mind if like a homeless guy's in there, no one's in, he's not bothering anyone.
Right, just stay warm.
And when people come in, you leave. I have a few like that. This gentleman is mean. He doesn't care. He's vindictive. And, he's violent. And the police just don't care. They don't want to deal with it. But again, we got our cameras on the phones fixed, so every time we see him, we're just going to call the police, which is a pain in the ass. But and all that led up to my 7th issue of the week, which is around 4:45 today, which I call my meltdown, a very rare occasion, roid raging meltdown. Do you want to start on that one?
No, you can go ahead because it ties right into what I was going to say today. So go ahead.
I get a long
distance. And this is the funny thing about it. I put the thumbnail up for the show yesterday. Topic was already in place. I came up with the idea for the show on Monday.
Right.
Mr. Magazine has no idea what we're talking about unless he looked at the thumbnail, which I'm sure that you did. It was a beautiful thumbnail, by the way.
Thank you.
And Mr. Magazine called me today to tell me this, and I started laughing out loud because this problem ties exactly into today's main theme. So go ahead, Mr. Magazine.
So I get a call. I got up at 3. I took a nap, took my kid to school. But for the most part, I was working 3, 4 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm tired. Had enough problems for the day. Around 4:45, I get a call on my phone from Nevada. I don't know who it is. I'm like, you never know. I get calls for selling. I don't want to miss out on a good deal or something. You know me. Pick it up.
Put your life savings on 00.
Anywho.
Maybe not.
Answer the phone. It's Amazon. And when I know it's Amazon, it's the same thing because I've been getting calls every month about my, what is it called? My seller
metrics.
My seller metrics. I have, 280 violations, which we were down to like 80. And then they usually do that. They hit the adults at Christmas time. So our 80 went up to 200. And the main things they key in are the intellectual property right violations. So I had 17 suspected and 3 that were actual violations. And every month they call me, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to get better? And you get someone new that I could barely understand. And he was speaking, he was from some other country, speaking fast. I really couldn't understand half the stuff he was saying. So that was bothering me to begin with. And he just kept going over what he read in the book, which every person every month reads. And I tried to, they're like, what are you doing to get better? We want you to show us you're trying to get better, with the violations and stuff, mainly the property right ones. And I said, well, if you go back a year, we had 10,000 violations and no one called me ever about it. And now we're, and that's when we had 150,000 listings. Now we got 320,000 and they're worried about 200. So to me, it's like small potatoes. And these items are like $5 and $10 items. And he just keeps going, what are you going to do? You got to do this. You got to do that. And I kept explaining to him, we tried that. They want us to call these companies, say Pepsi or Marvel. One was a Marvel comic book from 1968 that we have to get the rights from Marvel to sell this. If we don't get the rights from Marvel to sell it, then we have to get a receipt or some invoice from the company we purchased it from. And we might have bought it 10 years ago. And again, we're a secondhand store.
You should buy a receipt from somebody from like Five and Dime 1968. I bought it down at Snyderman's Deli in 1968 for 10 cents.
Exactly. And again, the main ones were really 3. Those were the ones that were official. And that's more like these companies, if you sell something new, like I think we had a hoverboard. We listed as new. It was like a cheap hoverboard. Well, the guy that owns the company, they don't want you selling hoverboards that are new, undercutting them, which I don't know what they charge on them.
I think it's part of that too, is that they're you can't guarantee a warranty on them.
Okay. I think if we said like new, just like with Lego,
okay,
yep. But again, hindsight's 2020. So they report in that the item's counterfeit, which is a lie. I mean, that's all they can do is maybe that's all Amazon will let them do to end it. But the best is they end them anyways. So I can't really revise it. I can't fix it. I'd rather just delete it. And it doesn't matter because they want you to make an effort, either contact the company or get a receipt. Those are my options. And I tried to explain to him. He was interrupting me. I was interrupting. It just kept escalating. And he wasn't hearing what I told him, that we get this every month. There's no solution. Just delete them. We'll get them out of the system and move on. That's all we could really do. And they stick with you for 6 months. And I actually was raising my voice and yelling at this guy pretty badly. And I didn't even care. I was thinking of ways to sell if Amazon kicked me off for yelling at this guy. I mean, I was being pretty nasty to him because he just kept talking over me with the same crap that I hear every month. And I don't even know if they have any notation that someone called me a month ago. I think they just look, okay, let's talk to this person. Just really frustrating and not a good way to end the day today.
So late last week, I looked at my Amazon and I am at risk of deactivation. And I got another issue. And it was a Ray Bork Topps card. And somebody in the text area where, you can write, as would say Ray Bork, 1982 Topps, blah, 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 had written the team name Boston Bruins when describing what the card was, in the thing, this card is from a 164 card set, Boston Bruins star, whatever.
Yeah.
The Boston Bruins there is a trademark violation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, I listed that card in 2010. I probably sold it in 2013, something or other like that.
Yeah.
So what I have done is I went and I spent a little bit of time, which of course takes away from real work, takes away from making money. I went and I deleted every single old listing, every single thing that is sold on Amazon. I have now deleted.
We've been doing it.
They're
and actually
all gone.
That saves you any potential errors, any violations you have.
Yep.
Yep.
So I got rid of all of them. So then I said, okay, I think my score is 162 at this point. I said, there is a way on there to contact Amazon. I'm not going to get anywhere, but I'm going to call Amazon. I'll jump through the hoops. Call Amazon, get somebody that was kind of hard to understand as well. They told me to go to Seller University because I have 4 problems with duplicate ASINs.
Yeah.
Now I said those AISNs were on there. I don't know which is the right one and which is the duplicate one. It's impossible to know.
Yeah, it's a waste. Yeah.
I'm on there. I see the item that I have for sale. I list it.
Right.
She said, okay, what you need to do for those is you need to go and search on ASIN and read about it in Seller University and then appeal. Okay, no problem. So I went and I did that. I looked in Seller University. I appealed. I said, your rep had told me to go to Seller University to look at this. I looked at this. I did this and told me to appeal.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, it was denied because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I said, I did exactly what the rep told me to do.
Right.
So then I have the Ray Bork problem. I also have a problem with, what CEDs are?
Yeah.
They're format of movie, a larger
RCA
size.
laser disc. That's
Yep.
Yeah,
right. And so it's a larger size one. I got a violation for listing a Godfather CED because of the word Godfather. Now, I don't know how you list a CED of Godfather.
But what if someone's saying a Godfather mug or a T-shirt for Father's Day?
Well, I did get one that didn't count against me for a Bing Crosby piece of sheet music because of the word Bing. Because Bing is a trademark violation. I said, that's the gentleman's name, Bing Crosby.
Right.
They don't really care. It's a 1939 sheet music. I'm pretty sure he predates Bing.
Right. The problem is, and I've said this for years, even with eBay. Okay, it's an issue. It's a violation. Don't threaten to kick me off. Though.
Don't use the ban hammer.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. And how often does it happen?
Well, so I asked her what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am supposed to relist the items in question with the trademark violation, which I said, I don't have the Ray Bork card.
Right.
Why am I going to relist something that I don't have? I think that's against policy. Right. But I'm supposed to relist the items in question for trademark violation, which sounds dangerous to start with. Then I'm supposed to remove the word that created the trademark violation. So apparently I relist the Godfather CED, then remove the Godfather. So it says CED. Then I send that.
What if you said God space Father? Like that should work because you should be able to say God and Father.
Well, then I'm supposed to send them. I relisted it. I take it seriously. I took the word Godfather out of it. So now I just have a CED with a picture of the Godfather CED, which I may or may not even have anymore because that might have sold already.
Right. Well, that's where we learned to do that with the adult stuff a year ago, because every Christmas we would get thousands of violations. So for a year, every week we'd end anything with adult that was sold. Ended. So now guess what? Instead of having 3,000 violations, we had 200.
Well, so then I said to the lady, I said, are you in my account? And she said, yes. I said, would you look at my metrics? 100% positive in the last 3 months or whatever period of time, 100% shipping on time, whatever the other I go, my metrics are perfect. Customers have no issues with anything. There are no cancellations. I am perfect to the customers.
Yeah.
You want to kick me off because of a Ray Bork card with the word Boston Bruins, which I may have 5 other items that have the word Boston Bruins somewhere in them.
It's
I don't know.
Crap. At the very least, like do a rating. Like, okay, that's a strike again. Like you said, if you started 1,000 and every time you get a strike, you're down in 980, and then people can judge that, but don't threaten to kick people off. It's ridiculous.
So that was where I stood at. So that got me thinking. Kicked from 3 different patches, never explained what was wrong with them. You can't talk to anyone else. And that's why I'm not on Bonanza. They've kicked me off Bonanza because I had the live feed going from Amazon, and apparently it was pulling over some Playboy magazines, and they just kicked me off, even though I was actually one of the only people making sales on there. I contacted Bonanza. They said, let us review. And that was 2.5 years ago. And they're doing a very thorough review because I've yet to hear back from them. Yeah. No, I don't think they know especially given that I followed exactly what she told me to do, and the bot said, no, I didn't.
Well, the problem we're having with what we're doing with ending them, like you zero out your inventory, delete them out. Well, you have Celebrate still. So they're really going to be, as long as you push them all into Celebrate, you can still go back and, something sells or you have any issues, you still have your old inventory on there in case of anything. We don't have Celebrate anymore. So a lot of times we're like, where was this on eBay? We would have, Celebrate would tell us. Now we have no reference. Sometimes we got to just, figure it out. So that kind of sucks.
So my thought was, God person, exactly. My thought was you have to have a backup plan. And it's funny you said that about the Celebrate. All of my items, God bless his husband.
There you go.
All of my items are on papergoy.com. I've got Celebrate. I've got backups on them. I see no way that I'm going to survive 2023 selling on Amazon because it's arbitrary. It just is absolutely arbitrary. And you cannot talk to anybody that wants to work with you. They, as Mr. Magazine said, they read from the book. And even when you follow what they say, again, as I did, doesn't matter. I'm not going to relist the items in question because I just can see that going completely wrong.
Yeah.
You relisted this and you knew it was a violation. I was told to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't see me being on Amazon through the end of the year, the end of next year. I just don't see it happening.
I'm going to be more selective of what I'm putting on there. And again, our number one seller this Christmas, which I haven't said yet, is adult movies and magazines. Surprisingly, every year it usually takes a nosedive. Well, now that I got the website and the DVD site, we're selling more than ever, which is weird. But maybe if I'm just in it to make money, I got to go in that direction, and I won't get kicked off the DVD site. I won't get kicked off my own website. So, less stress, maybe less money, but higher profit, So.
Right. And so I've already started figuring, I mean, I make in my pocket probably $10,000 to $12,000 I'm going to make this year off of Amazon. And that's with like 2,500 items sold. I'm not making a lot of money on Amazon. I'm really
it's
not.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work versus the time saved.
Are we talking about Whatnot or Amazon? So I can't help it.
So when you get down to it, you have to have a contingency plan. And I see the writing on the wall with Amazon, and I don't think I'm the only person that they're having this. I mean, my metrics to buyers are great, and they don't care. Amazon does not care on that. I have accepted, again, I'm going to ride the gravy train as long as I possibly can.
Right,
I mean, and I'm not going to purposely do anything wrong. I'm going to address every issue. I'm going to try to stay on there. I don't want not to be on there.
Yeah.
But they're making it more and more difficult to be on there. So I've got papergoy.com with all of those listed items. I can expand the Whatnot. I can expand Facebook auctions. I can start looking into something like Mercari. I can, list books on the Biblio. I did sell something on Biblio, but you've got to have backup plans.
Right.
You absolutely do have to. I've gotten sent a couple of surveys from Amazon, and I'm
not nice. I'm not nice on those.
No, I'm not either. Yep. And I'm saying,
even those daily ones sometimes where you have like 5 choices or something. Sometimes, very rarely are they excellent.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what I'm saying on her too, is it's difficult as a small businessman to be able to sell on Amazon because, again, that was a card that there are, you have that Marvel comic, there are probably 50,000 comics on there that mention the word Marvel.
Well, that's what I explained to them. I go, I guarantee if you do a Marvel search now, you just probably 100,000 Marvel comics and you have an issue with this one. What about all the other ones? You're bothering me with this one, but not anyone else that has different, or only people with that particular issue,
Right, exactly. And for some reason, issue 123 of Strange Tales is a problem. Issue 124 that somebody put into the catalog at the same exact time has exactly the same listing, except they changed the number in the picture. 124 is fine. 123 is not. But next week, 124 might be a problem.
Right.
And then that'll be another strike for you, and then you're in trouble again.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Left Amazon a lot of work for a little bit of profit. It does have its perks if you can keep up with feeding the machine.
Well, and that's what we've been doing. For I put everything into Amazon. We stayed off of eBay a little bit, did a lot less other than, selective high-end items and stuff. And, eBay's down and Amazon's a pain in the you-know-what. So.
Yeah. I have not looked at eBay for many, many, many years. I think I got an email from them, and of course you also have HIP and you have all those things as well if you want to go that route with various things. So there are a lot of other options out there, but be prepared. Have a backup plan, on that. Again, I'm going to ride the Amazon train as long as I possibly can, and I'm going to do the best I absolutely can. But if they arbitrarily end something on me and it's a strike against me, there isn't a lot I can do about it. I mean,
right.
And I even said to the lady, I said, look, I got these. I am ending every old item. As soon as I realized what was happening, I'm ending them all. And she goes, oh, that's good. But you need to do this. You need to do this. And it's just difficult. In fact, it's impossible for some of that stuff because you don't know what the next violation is going to be.
Right.
So if you are selling on Amazon, and I know Auction Professor talks about it all the time, own your listings, and that he uses, I think, Ink Frog. I use Sellbrite. Own your listings, because at that point you at least have all of that work that you did. If I have 23,000 listings on Amazon, that's a lot of work that I put into those, obviously. So I at least own them. They are on papergoy.com. Worst case scenario, I just push that really hard and start looking at other venues as well with the time that I would have available. I believe I probably will, and I know Mr. Magazine has told me any number of times, push harder on Etsy, because Etsy seems to be being a success for me on that over there as well. So push harder on Etsy, which I think I probably will do after the first of the year as well.
We'll be weaning off Amazon like you want to a little bit, wean off eBay a little bit on certain items, and spend that time listing on Etsy. Who knows?
50,000 Marvel items. Yep.
Doesn't shock me at all.
But probably no Strange Tales 120, whatever it was.
Yeah,
None of those. So hopefully this helps you some today, though. Like I said, definitely have a backup plan, especially when you do see the writing on the wall. I've read a lot of the boards over on Amazon, and Amazon seems to be getting more and more difficult for small sellers, and they don't want to hear anything. Amazon doesn't. My thought is, if you do sell on Amazon, and if you can hang on over the next year or so, I think you'll be fine, because I think at some point things are going to turn, and all it takes is for them to get in the crosshairs of, not to get political, but them to get in the crosshairs of some, say I were a politician's son and they did that to me, and I told my dad, who was a congressman,
right.
All of a sudden, somehow I think, oh, they start holding hearings and things will change at that point.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not fair. There isn't any way at all that I should have a 2010 card that I've sold 8 years or 9 years ago held against me. But it is, and as soon as I saw it, I deleted the item. That doesn't matter. I have to relist the item and then remove the word Bruins, which I'm not going to do, because again, I could definitely see a different bot saying you relisted an item that we told you was a problem.
Well, I stopped selling new electronics on there because there's always a violation of something. It's a counterfeit. It's this, it's that. So it's not even worth it. I think I disagree with that, because eBay will give you a warning, maybe at least 3. And say I sell a Mickey Mantle autograph with, I put my certificate, I bought it from Joe Schmo, and it's not real, and I don't know it's not real. They'll give me a warning. So now guess what? I hold off on selling autographs unless it is from JSA or PSA or something like this. So they'll give you a warning, or, say that magazine with the little underwear showing, you get a warning in that category, and then they'll only suspend you maybe from the category for 3 days or a month. Where Amazon, I could be listing 1,000 items and have 500 different violations because I don't know their violations until you get the strike. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the other thing, John, is, and I've had success speaking with eBay through the Facebook or being able to call.
Right.
I've had success.
Customer service is 2 different worlds apart. Amazon, atrocious, horrible.
Which is crazy, because I know in the past people used to complain about eBay customer service all the time. eBay has tremendous customer service, especially with the Facebook. They will answer you back on it. They may not always know the answers. They may not always, but at least they seem to be listening to what your problem is.
Right. Amazon
doesn't want to hear it. They read off the book. And again, even though I did exactly what they told me to do, it didn't matter. So keep the comments coming on that. But the point is, this week shows, with both of us having this, you definitely have to have a backup plan. Have one. Get it in place, whatever it happens to be, because you absolutely never know how things are going to be on that over there. We're going to head on into Rambling Story of the Week. Now, I was going to talk about dogs. However, things changed. Mr. Magazine came by my house, and he thought I was doing Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires video.
It smelled a little toasty.
What did you notice when you walked in, Mr. Magazine?
Well, it smelled like something burned. Someone's baking brownies or something going on.
When Mr. Magazine walks in the house and does stop, drop, and roll as a precaution, and that's not a pretty sight, nothing personal.
I agree.
Especially when you're banging into 14 magazine boxes when you're doing it.
Yeah, right.
Random neighborhood kid decided to cook today. So we had up in the cupboard, we had some rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat. And he went and he got it. And God bless him, he asked me how much 2/3 was. Like how to measure out 2/3 of a thing of water.
Yeah.
And I said, we have a 1/3 cup of water. Use it twice. That would be 2/3.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay. So he went and he put the butter and did everything on that, and then brought it out and put the spices in, and then put the put 2/3 of a cup of water in, and went and microwaved it. It's got a microwave for 17 to 20 minutes. So he's microwaving it. He goes, oh, it'll be done when I'm done showering. I'm going to go shower. So he goes upstairs to shower. And I go in the basement to find an item. I come upstairs. There is smoke pouring out of the microwave. I've never seen it. It's literally coming from underneath the door out of the microwave. just smoke everywhere. And I said, what the? So I immediately, opened the door.
Yeah.
Smoke billowing into my face. Whole place smoke. I'm able to get the rice out.
He kills me. The fella. Exactly.
That is that fella, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is that fella. I'm able to get the bowl out. Tar black. Completely burned. Smoke coming off of it. I'm like, what the?
Luckily, he didn't leave a spoon in there.
Oh, my gosh. So I'm like, what the heck?
Not enough water?
So I look at the side. 2 2/3 cups. He put 2/3 of a cup in instead of 2 2/3 cups. That went upstairs.
They soaked it right up.
I said, do you know that 2 2/3 cups is different than 2/3 cups? Oh, ha ha.
The best would have been if you thought it was 23 cups and he had 2 gigantic bowls.
I said, you want to live on your own? You're going to burn the apartment down. I said, because you would have started that.
And you would have been,
you would have been in the shower.
He would have got out and the fire department would have been there hatcheting the door down. So
then the fire alarm starts, the smoke detector starts going off, and I'm able to get that started. I open the door. I get everything going in there. So I'm like, oh, my God. So now I'm worried that the bowl is ruined and all that. I threw the rice outside because I had to put water in it to stop it because it was, sizzling. The microwave's broken, not working. Now, I brought you by
we need one in the basement. Let's put that microwave in my basement.
I brought you by my old microwave that had been up there. What was the thing you told me when I brought that microwave by?
Gigantic?
This thing's a beast.
Yeah, it's gigantic. It's the size of this table.
I've got, and it came with the house, and it's set up. So I went online to buy the same size microwave. They're not cheap, and it's one of the biggest size microwaves they even offer. And the microwave's not working. I said, what the? So then I'm looking and I'm saying, maybe it tripped a breaker. Are other lights? No, all the lights are on. Everything else is on. It didn't trip a breaker. What the? So I'm online searching on my phone about, so you burn something in your microwave. Did the microwave break? And it keeps taking me to something called Quora, Quora.
Yeah.
You need to log in. Where do you want to log in? So fine, my Gmail account. So I log in. Please answer 5 more or choose 5 categories that you're interested in. I go, I'm not doing this. So I'm then sort of screaming. Finally, I walk back on there. I had my meltdown too. So mine was a random neighborhood kid. I went back in. The power was back on. So it must have been a temporary thing in there where it got overheated and it shut itself down for protection's sake. Right. Oh my goodness gracious! Really? Yeah, you may want to talk to him about that.
Hilarious story. We should do that. Hilarious. Yeah. One of us do one of the other.
Yeah, it's super. So now the microwave is working, although I had to reset the time. Random neighborhood kid has not eaten. For some reason, I should have made him eat the rice.
Yeah.
That's what I should have done.
You eat what you cook.
I should have made him do that. He now knows that 2 2/3 is not the same as 2/3. And the entire house smells like smoke. And I'm.
Did you not take home ec in school? I mean, you have to take 1 year home ec, don't you?
No.
Oh, really?
Ec, no.
Jeez.
No. I don't think he took fractions in school.
Well, true. That
would have really helped him.
That would have helped for sure. Hopefully, you don't need that for being an electrician.
He does. Oh my God. I hate to go down this path, but I will for a minute here. He does. And he was trying to figure out how to program fractions on his phone because every time you do like the fractions on his phone, it converts it into decimal and he doesn't know how to convert it back.
They must have a scientific calculator app. They have to. Just put that on there. That's all you need to know.
And I'm telling him 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3. It's 1 1/3. It's not difficult.
Right. Yeah.
You can add fractions. You just common denominator. That stuff was drilled into my head. They do not teach kids the same way these days. They do not teach math tables. Oh, let me get off that.
Just buy microwavables that require no adding water. You just put it in 5 minutes, boom, it's done. How's that sound? They make bags of rice for $1. You put it in for 90 seconds, and it's good tasting stuff. Jambalaya,
When he moves out, I am buying him lots of rice-a-roni and then increasing his life insurance. Making sure he has renter's insurance also. True. Oh, my goodness gracious. So if you ever come to smoke billowing out of your microwave, ask my random neighborhood kid is there trying to cook rice-a-roni. True. It is the San Francisco treat. Want to thank everybody for coming by. Hopefully today helped you out some, though. Do get the backup plan. You definitely do need one. We are all at the mercy of the sites that we go on. Definitely are. Stop on by Whatnot Saturday. I'm not doing the comic auction, so I get some comics sorted. But I will start doing those again in the new year as well. Stop by Saturday, 1 p.m. over on Whatnot for the book bazaar. It's going to be a lot of fun. 27 catalog books. Some good stuff over there. That'll be fun. Trade cards on Tuesday over on Whatnot. I'm going to try to put together a Facebook video over at the Vintage Syndicate and Ephemera for Monday. Going to try to put together an auction for that. And good night, everybody, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.
And if anybody's got any food, send it on by. Random Neighborhood Kid's funny. Or funny. He's hungry.
Sure.
He's
Yeah.
funny, too. But see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.